tired, and I have not been playing video games. What is wrong with me?
I just can't. I can't get like a 30-minute window of not being interrupted. It's like, it's fucking insane, dude.
Video game podcast where we don't play video games?
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, everybody. Nobody's on yet, but... The fuck? The Roomba?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Damn.
The Roomba decided to Roomba. For no reason.
Roomba's gonna Roomba.
Yeah. You gave me a crazy Roomba.
All right, that sounds pretty decent.
Yeah. All right, let me update the...
Maybe I'm quiet, but that's my nature.
That's your nature? You're a quiet guy is your nature? I don't know. I don't believe it.
Wait, did you pump yourself up?
What do you mean I pump myself up?
What did you do when I said I was too loud last week? Didn't you say something about how you like...
Well, I raised your volume a little bit.
You raised my volume.
Yeah, on Discord, I raised you like
okay.
175. Why?
Okay.
What you talk about, Willis?
I
I don't know why I said that.
I wanna increase my volume a little bit.
We still have time. I still gotta...
What's the best way to do that? Should I do it on my end or?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this. Okay.
Say something. Do you
Say
sound
something
good?
crazy?
Gotta say something crazy.
You just gotta be less loud, and then we'll be good.
I gotta be less loud? How loud am I? Are you saying like I gotta be less loud when I talk, or less loud in my audio?
Just in every
I'm
dimension.
I'm Dominican.
That's true.
Oh, I can't fucking change the... This thing still says Gamescom 2020. Let me see.
In Twitch it says pressing buttons app number 92.
Yeah. Hold on, man. Stream manager. Okay. I'm in the stream manager. All right, got it. I got it. Remind me later. There you go. Okay, I think I got it. Episode 94. We live streaming, baby.
Okay.
All right. There you go. I think we're good. I have changed the stream info. What?
I just love how our immediate live stream is basically just like technical issues, troubleshooting.
We got to put on a good show.
Zero preparedness.
We're never,
still figuring out the agenda.
I mean, it's good that it works this way because we don't want to start a podcast and just go into it. We want to lead into it.
I don't like that.
Yeah. We don't want to be perfect, do a podcast and then get out of here. We want to struggle and then do a podcast.
Struggle for an hour. Yeah, struggle for an hour. Go run twice as long as we plan, and then
those are the best podcasts.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? We ready? I'm wearing my Evo shirts.
I can be ready. That's a nice shirt.
Yeah, love this shirt.
Did you buy that one, or is that you bought that one, right?
Yeah. This one
okay.
I bought.
That's not the free one we got?
Not the Sony one, yeah. I bought this one and the blue one.
Oh, that's right. I was pissed that they were out of hoodies. The hoodie looked cool.
Next Evo, we get some hoodies.
Are we going this year? I can't remember. Probably not, right?
No, not this year. We're too busy.
Too busy.
We're going to Sweden and Denmark. Probably around the same time. Yeah, I think it is around the same time.
Yeah, it's too close to that for sure.
Next one. Well, the plan is Japan.
It'll give us another year to get good at the game, right?
Yeah. Which I haven't been practicing.
Akuma will be out. So
did you see the Ed video? Ed's looking good. People were like talking shit about Ed.
I haven't seen the video actually.
Yeah, people were talking shit like, "Oh, Ed's gonna be whack" because he was whack in 5, but he looks fun.
Okay.
Are you ready? You ready to podcast?
Yeah.
All right, let's go in 5, 4. Hello, and welcome to Pressing Buttons. I'm Hugo.
I'm Nick.
Another great week, another great episode coming at you. Episode 94 of Pressing Buttons. We are glad to be here. We are live streaming. If you guys haven't heard the news, we live stream now our episodes. Also, a little bit of a switch. Now we're going to be live streaming on Mondays and recording on Mondays to release soon after we live stream and record. We've gotten too busy on our Sunday schedule to record the episode on Sunday and to release Monday. So, we've also gotten really good at editing the episode, so we could release technically like a couple hours after we record. So we've decided to just record on Mondays, live stream on Mondays, and then release soon after. We're still kind of figuring out the time frame. It is a little bit late. It's about to be 7. Nick has to figure out the dogs and stuff like that, so we might do it a little bit earlier.
Don't blame me.
No, but
even though it is my fault, but you don't need to. I'm not narc on me like that.
Well, first of all, you narked on yourself. I was not narking on you.
Yeah, offline, not while we're live streaming.
Yeah, I was trying to say that you just got to figure out the dog schedule if we got to do it earlier, which we probably will.
Yeah, core to success in recording is both of the dogs being passed out. So it's got to figure out, when they do that consistently.
Yeah. So probably a little bit earlier. We'll probably do something like 1 or 2 p.m., which I think we've done before and also works. But we'll see. We'll keep you guys updated. We love our listeners. And we like to just spontaneously just do random shit. So this is part of that. You guys still stick with us. All right, let's get started with some video game news. First big news that we want to talk about is the Disney and Epic Games partnership. This week, Disney and Epic Games announced a new collaboration where they will be creating all new games and an entertainment universe. Disney is investing $1.5 billion to acquire an equity stake in Epic Games. The new universe will span various properties such as Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and Avatar, and other stuff. This follows on the heels of Sony investing $1 billion last year, as well as the Lego company investing $1 billion last year. What can we say about this except like it's a move? Honestly, with Epic Games, the Epic engine, and also Fortnite being as big as it is, and with the multiverse that everybody's kind of trying to get into, we have talked about this before that we do think if anybody, the closest company to the multiverse is Epic Games.
Metaverse.
Wow, metaverse. I'm in the MCU over here.
Yeah.
The closest company to the metaverse is Epic Games with what they've done with Fortnite, and then now as well when they made the Lego Fortnite, as well as the Rock Band or whatever it is. I forget what that's called, because I don't play it.
It's basically Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band and the car stuff. And now with this equity stake and partnership with Disney, it looks like they're expanding more. And obviously, Fortnite already has like a lot of characters from Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that. So it's going to be cool to see them branch out even more and get more properties in there. And I'm excited to see what comes into fruition. Obviously, you had Disney Infinity, which was really well received, and it unfortunately got canceled. But that was something that I think a lot of people liked, and something that they're hoping will come of this. What are your thoughts on this from a financial side and for the future of games? What do you think of this move?
It's a cool deal. Like at some point, I'm just like, I think Epic's is taking money from whoever they can get it from.
It's also so Tim Sweeney can fight Apple, but
I never dug into all the information that's been made available around kind of like the financials of things, but I mean, I guess there's like a philosophy of like raise money or like take money when you don't actually need it. So so I don't know how much of it is that versus like they actually need the money because they've just been like burning cash for whatever reason. I don't think I know the Epic Game Store doesn't make any money and they invested a ton in that, but I don't think it's so bad that they needed to raise $3.5 billion in the last 2 years. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I think the flavor of investment is similar to what Lego did. So I think there's like a lot of parallels there where, Lego had, I think it was called Lego Worlds or something like that, where it was meant to be this like kind of like online multiverse type thing that leverages the Lego IP. They've now just effectively built that.
Metaverse.
Well, no, I think at that for that, and same thing with Disney, and like I think it's a multiverse within. Yeah.
Well, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I think I don't know who the fuck knows. But yeah. So I think they've kind of built that within Fortnite now. So there's Lego Fortnite. I think that's kind of maybe version 1 or version 0 of what the future of that could look like. So it's not that hard to imagine there being a Disney version of that. Hopefully they do something that's not just like building shit. With Lego it's fairly like it is, like the toy is about building, so it does make you question what kind of experiences is Epic actually good at creating that can leverage Disney IP and kind of incorporate that like multiverse type thing, because I'm pretty sure they're going to try to leverage as many different Disney IPs as possible with whatever they're doing. So I would expect there to be not just Epic having more access to Disney IP to create skins in Fortnite. Like I think it's probably something bigger than that. And Disney has a history of kind of flip-flopping on whether they want to be a game developer or not. I can't even remember like all the names of the different companies that they've acquired and tried to build up. Like
all the different companies that have their IPs too right now.
Well, yeah, I think the current version of their strategy is to license out their IP to other developers and they create games off of it. But they've had their own internal development resources and things like that. So I think this would be leaning even further into Epic Games being one of the primary sources of building games experiences leveraging the Disney IP. So I think that makes sense, and I know like Disney more broadly, I think trying to figure out like what is the future of Disney. I don't think the stock has been doing all that great, and there's a lot of question marks around like the next 100 years of Disney, or like who's going to be the next Disney, and all those types of things. So not that this solves that, but I think it is interesting that they're putting a huge investment into a games company. So I think that's their attempt to try to like be able to address those types of questions they're getting around their long-term strategy. So they can now at least say like, hey, we're doing something big that's kind of different than what we've done in the past. Yeah.
They do have kind of the bones of experiences. You could look at like the Thanos event that they had for Endgame and Infinity War, where you could get the gauntlets and all that stuff, and then you can also see the Star Wars experiences that they had for like with the Mandalorian and as well as the troopers and all that stuff. So you can see that they do have the bones of it, and it'll be interesting, like you said. I think as long as they make it a unique experience where it's not just Fortnite again kind of thing, and it can't be Lego because Lego has its own thing. How long do you think before we see some fruition of this? Because the Lego investment was last year, and then we got the Lego Fortnite at the end of last year, so it's that was pretty quick, I think, on their end, and they have the capability to do a quick turnout with what they have already. How long before you think they show something or they have something?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? It just depends on the scope of what they're trying to accomplish. Like I think with Lego Fortnite, I was also surprised by how quickly they got something out to market. But then when you look at it, you're like, okay, well, they probably just, I mean, they like substantially leverage the Fortnite. It's Unreal Engine, but I think they got a lot of benefit from their experience with Fortnite and building and all that, as well as just like a lot of the other Lego games and Minecraft. So they had a lot of, I think, existing infrastructure and sources of creative input to accelerate that and get something out there. We just don't know like what they're doing. So if it's basically like a rinse and repeat of something kind of like Lego Fortnite, then it's a year. If it's more of a new experience, like that'll take more time. I would expect like 2 to 3 years. I think their approach is to do something a little bit more like lightweight, just to get something out to the market and just see if people like it. So, it would be a similar approach to what they did with Lego Fortnite. We're like, let's just get like a proof of concept out there, and then we can build upon it later. Which I think you're seeing more live service games, more or less taking that approach, so that they don't get too hung up on creating 400 hours worth of content when people hate the game.
So. Yeah, and it'll be interesting too, because that it's the Epic engine. I mean, they give you the tools. They're so easy to create stuff for it. That's why Fortnite has all these other things that people have created with the engine that you can access through Fortnite. So I think it'll be sooner rather than later. I think maybe a year as opposed to 2. They'll have something. I mean, also this thing's gonna crack the whip. They're like, we need some shit because MCU's not doing good or something. All right,
Deadpool will save us.
We'll see. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I just saw the snippet at the Super Bowl. I got to see the full thing. All right, let's move on to the next bit of news, and this one is the Microsoft business meeting. So last week we discussed the rumors swirling about that there was going to be a bunch of titles that were Xbox exclusive that were going to kind of move over to other publishers like Sony and Nintendo, and Microsoft decided to send out a statement to address these. They're going to be doing a business meeting on February 15 in a couple days to address this and kind of give an outlook of what their future is and what they want to do with the partners, and also the outlook for Game Pass, as well as their physical releases, because there's also been rumors about them stopping physical releases and just having digital releases. Very interesting that they kind of addressed this, because the internet was going kind of crazy. I mean, not that it was going super crazy, but I think it was like a good amount of like just random shit.
No, people were going insane. Like,
I don't know why.
They're like super, like hardcore Xbox fanboys who like built their whole identity around Xbox as a brand, or we're just like, I'm done with Xbox. I'm done, like never playing another Xbox. I'm just like, oh my god. Like,
I thought we were over that. I thought we were over the console war.
No, and it's I don't remember any of the names, but like I saw some of the people, and they're all like old dudes older than me. like it wasn't even like little kid. It's like these like old guys being like super butthurt about this. So it's like, all right.
Yeah, and you also
time to grow up.
You also had the Game Pass branding, which I don't know if it's real or not, but it went from Xbox Game Pass to Microsoft Game Pass. So a lot of people thought that that meant something like they'll just have Game Pass for other systems.
Didn't someone say that was just
it was just an error.
Like an error?
Yeah.
I think it's just an error. I don't see them abandoning the Xbox brand.
Yeah. But it's just
that would be like for the same reason Sega didn't abandon the Sega brand. Like
yeah.
it's like I think it's still the brand can still live on even though they don't have like hardware. Which might sound counterintuitive because the word box is in it, but I think people have moved beyond the actual meaning of brand names anyway. So yeah, I think they would still use it. But then there was I think another statement made about like, oh no, we're still doing hardware. So we'll see what they say in the meeting. But I thought that was kind of interesting how lots of internet chatter and people getting butthurt and they needed to say something on Twitter and schedule this meeting. So
yeah, I was gonna say, do you think it was a forced move kind of thing? That they were like, all right, we gotta release a statement, or you think they were
I
planning
don't think they
something
were
around this
planning
time?
I don't think they were planning on this meeting.
At all, or just not this soon?
Not in this way. Like I'm sure at some point they would have addressed like, hey, these games are going to be on these platforms, and like Sony did that, right? I mean, this is going to be a little bit more extreme because you could see Microsoft games on PlayStation and Nintendo, or at least more games, not just like some of the ones that are currently already out there. But Sony kind of like gradually rolled it. It's like, hey, we'll put some stuff on PC. Like, we're just going to window it. So it's not going to be day and date, but we'll start experimenting with releasing games on different platforms. So I think Microsoft's just going to go deeper and probably have a broader set of titles on multiple platforms. Maybe it's not windowed, meaning that the games would, it would launch multi-platform either on the same day or on a tighter window than like a year or whatever it is that PlayStation does. And I think I think that can make business sense just because the scale of their user base is just so small. So when you're spending this much money on a game, you kind of need to have like a minimum level of audience for that to make sense. And PlayStation's able to do it because PlayStation has a much larger user base. If Xbox just isn't there, then it kind of makes sense. And the other thing I thought about was like, isn't this model kind of like in the Microsoft DNA?
Do you mean
where it's like Windows, Microsoft Windows, like Windows is on all hardware.
Yeah.
And then Microsoft does design their own, what they call hero experiences. So it's like with the Surface and all of those, and so they have their own hardware, but it's people are buying Windows, and you can buy Windows on anything. So I know some people might get upset about drawing an analogy to like Windows operating system to like a video game, but
they've always been software. Yeah, they've always been software that works for them better than the hardware. And that's the other thing. The report came out that the PlayStation is outselling to the Xbox. So definitely that plays a part into it.
It's more than 2-1, isn't it?
Well, that's the reports. I'm pretty sure.
Market or something.
The U.S. market.
Okay.
But it could be more than 2-1. I think it was 3-1
on a global basis. It's definitely much bigger than that.
Yeah. But it's the move that they got to make. We'll see if it kind of plays out that the way that they hope for, because honestly, like, they're not doing much. Which is
that's the other thing. It's like if they're like no more hardware, software only. It's like, okay, well, are the games going to be good? like
I have no faith.
The games still need to be good if you're going to go down this path. So, so it doesn't necessarily inherently solve anything by releasing a bad game on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
So I think there's still a lot of studio stuff that they got to figure out to kind of, I think, right the ship.
And like you said, they are mostly counting on is it Azure cloud? Is that what it's called?
Azure.
Azure. Azure.
Azure.
kind of
You just went. You went.
Azure, yes, kind of the same thing. Azure, yeah, they're kind of counting on that. So it's just weird. It's a weird outlook. We talked about this before, early episodes this year, about there's really no big outlook for any heavy titles directly from Sony and from Microsoft. I know they did that thing about Senua's sacrifice and all that stuff, but that's not.
Anytime I see like
Nobody's looking forward to
very
that.
very few trailers like make me want to punch myself in the face. Actually, I think no other trailer, like just that game. Like whenever I see a trailer for that game, I'm like,
And you know what it is?
I don't know why.
It was such a highly acclaimed game, and we're so anti against the trailer of it. Like we don't want anything to do with it. But yeah, we don't see anything.
I could actually like the game, but like just something about the trailers were just so terrible. Like I just can't get over it.
They got to get better marketing. But yeah, it's all on the basis of what will they release this year, or what will they announce this year, to get the fan base hyped up. Because even though, like, we were talking about earlier, there's really no more console wars, but some bullshit like this happens and people come out of the woodwork and like, oh wait, I can't believe Microsoft's doing this.
Yeah, but it's
They've
like
killed a loyal
who cares?
fan.
How many people? Like, what's the sum total of people that are like actually going to stop buying your games?
No, not
Like very few.
We both know not enough, but it's the internet, so the loudest voices are usually the assholes that want to scream.
Yeah, no, it's very much a vocal minority thing. That's why I think they probably were gonna, talk about this at some point, but they're just trying to accelerate it just to, get people to calm down a bit. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. Like I think another thing that's become clear is. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear an update around how they're trying to manage Game Pass. To me, and I can't remember. I'm sure we've talked about it. I don't remember if I specifically said it on the podcast, but I was a firm believer in day and date every game that's output from your studios being on Game Pass is like long term. Like that's not going to be the model. Like they're just doing that now to get people into the subscription. I think they're also keeping the price pretty low just to get people into subscribing.
Well, they also ain't got shit. They don't have anything that you would want to subscribe for.
Exactly. I think Starfield must have been like a gut punch for them. Like whatever they learned from that, I'm sure had a pretty big shift with how they're thinking around this service. I know they were like throwing out a bunch of data points or whatever, how it was like a huge hit, but I think that's all bullshit, and they just cherry picked a bunch of metrics. But yeah, I do wonder if they'll also. So I think they'll speak to like multi-platform game releases, but I also wonder if they'll talk about Game Pass and how they might be making some changes to that. Just because I just know they're gonna raise prices, they're gonna charge for, I think didn't Disney do a version of this where they had like you could have a subscription and then you could pay like extra money to watch a movie that just came out recently. Like I think
but that's everybody now.
Yeah, I think they'll start doing like a lot more of that stuff. So that's to me that's inevitable. I'm just kind of raising an open question whether that's something that they'll get into during this update.
Yeah, the more we move forward, the more we move back, because now like all the streaming services want you to pay more so you don't get ads. So it's like, what the fuck is the point of me paying for a streaming service if I gotta pay more for ads? I'm paying for TV again. The other thing is, they've never had something like this, right? Like a business event, like a business what do they call it? Business meeting, right? Because I know Sony has done these type of things where like they give an outlook and they show the numbers and all that stuff.
Well, I think they do, but it's generally targeted towards investors. Like the the audience is shareholders and investors. So Sony does like lots of overall corporate presentations, and because PlayStation's number one, like PlayStation's the most valuable business segment. So I think they probably talk in a little bit more detail around what's going on. Whereas gaming is not the most valuable segment for Microsoft. So they do talk a little bit about, kind of what's going on with the business, but I just don't think they go super deep into it. Good example is they stopped reporting on subscribers for Game Pass. I think initially they were like, oh yeah, this is our new thing. We're going to talk about subscribers. And then once it stopped growing, no surprise, they wanted to no longer disclose it. So, so I think I don't know if that makes sense, but I think that's
I got you.
There's a little a little bit of information, but I think this will be the first kind of, I don't know if deep dive is the right word, but a very focused meeting that talks around the Xbox business segment.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, like I said, it's in a couple of days on the 15th. We'll see what they have to say. It might be a lot of stuff. It might be a short and sweet because they're doing it through their podcast thing. They're not doing it. It's not like a presentation.
Oh yeah, that's also kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Well, that goes to what you were saying, where it's more spontaneous because they have to address it. It's not a planned thing.
I would have loved it if they did it on Valentine's Day, just to break those fanboy hearts.
You know those gamers, they ain't got no dates. It'll be fine. I ain't got no dates.
Damn.
All right, let's move on. Sorry, gamers. The last thing we want to talk about is two games. One, Helldivers 2, and the other one is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The Sony just did another State of Play, but this one was just for Rebirth. They did it on February 6th. We had talked about this previously when they did their January State of Play. I saw a little bit of it. I'm like you. I don't want to get spoiled too much, even though I don't think I'll be playing the game as early as you will. But it looked really amazing. The mini games, the graphics look good, the story looks good. I'm super excited for it. I still gotta finish the first one, so I think that's what's holding me back to it. And then as far as Helldivers 2, another Sony published game, got released on PlayStation and Steam. It did crazy numbers on Steam. I believe it hit over 100,000 concurrent users, which is the most that any PlayStation title has done. The last one being, I think, God of War, that had like 75,000 or something like that. So super interesting. The game looks super fun. I know it's been in the back of my mind kind of thing as something that we could play together. But I'm glad I'm hearing that it's still fun like the first one. And a lot of people are liking it and enjoying it. And I think it has sustainability. I know, speaking of sustainability, like you had Power World, which kind of like everybody was going crazy over for a week and a half, and now Power World numbers are like really, really low. But I think that's just more with the state of the game than because people don't want to play it. I think they're waiting.
It's an early access game, right?
Yeah. I know some of the guys on Discord have been playing it, and like Keezy and Ace, they were playing it, and then like their stuff got erased. So I know it's got a lot of like, oof, you hate the whole thing. Yeah. So Helldivers and Final Fantasy. Did you take a look at? I mean, I know you're trying to keep yourself fresh for it.
For Final Fantasy, so my big like sticking point with demos is, does anything carry over to the full game? Because particularly if it's a game that if I know I'm buying it, then what I don't want to do is play a demo and then like have to replay that in the full game or whatever. So that was my only reservation, was like, was there going to be any real benefit for me to play the demo now and be ready to go with something that carries over when the full game releases. So that is the case with the Rebirth demo. So you play a chapter. It's the Nibelheim flashback chapter, which is awesome. So you play that, and then I'm sure they'll give you an option to replay it, but you don't have to play it if you don't want to in the full game. And then
you can skip that part if you beat it in the demo, you can skip it, right?
Yeah. And then there's I think some like items. So you get some like unlockables that are unique. To I don't know if you just need like a save file from the demo or if you need to complete it, but there's something there. Demo's not super long. I think it took me like an hour, something like that. Maybe a little bit more. I can't really recall, but so yeah, because of that, I played the demo. There's an expansion to the demo, which I think is more like the sandbox, like you just kind of run around and do stuff.
Did that get released right away, or it was a couple of days later?
I think it's not. I don't think it's out yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I remember reading something like that where it wasn't available right away. I think in a couple of days it might be.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date. It might be out already, but I don't think it is. And then I don't know if anything carries over from that. So if it's just kind of like this sandbox demo thing, I'll probably skip it. Kind of like what I did with the Infinite Wealth demo, which I was like kind of butthurt about that because
yeah, me too. Like
the main reason I got Gaiden was to get like the demo, and then like nothing carried over. So,
well, my man Kiryu, you want to play as Kiryu?
I mean, I'm maybe I wasn't that upset about it because I really enjoyed the game, but that was definitely a big driver. Was getting because I thought there was like some unique shit that would carry over, but like nothing.
No, it was nothing. Yeah. It was just it was to sucker people like you to buy like a Dragon Gaiden.
I mean, I was yeah, maybe yeah.
But you ended up enjoying it, so it worked out.
Yeah,
you didn't get suckered too much.
Right. So yeah, I didn't watch the actual direct though because I think it talked like I want to keep some of it fresh and and exciting when I actually play the game. So I played the demo, TBD whether I play the second part of the demo. I was devastated by the gold saucer globe, which is something that they...
Oh, you saw it?
Huh?
You saw it?
No, it's like a collectible. It's like an actual globe with the gold saucer in it. So it's a collectible, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm buying that for sure. I would want that on my desk, and I would just want to play music all the time.
You give me shit for liking to buy collectibles, but this isn't like a limited edition thing. This is like a separate, not from the game.
You can't. Well, I think it's affiliated with Rebirth. Yeah, for sure. But you can't buy it. Like you can only get it through their like store, and you have to like redeem points. So it's kind of like the Nintendo.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
like the Nintendo points store thing. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll just buy a bunch of shit. Like I'm sure I can find, several $100s worth of shit that I don't need, but I'll buy it. But by the time I was like gonna like plan like all the dumb shit I was gonna buy, it was already gone. Like so it's
damn man, foiled.
So that's not great. I'm sure it's like a super shitty thing anyway, but it was just kind of like a dumb thing that I wanted when they showed the trailer for it.
Like I like how much shit you gave me because I was like, oh yeah, I got the Call of Duty night vision goggles and the RC car and all that stuff. I even have it's at the top, but I have like the order.
Well, the night vision goggles are dumb.
They were working night vision goggles. But anyways, you do the same shit I do. You just, it has to be for something you like. So definitely I was like, oh, Final Fantasy, that'll get you. Like you'll pay for some good Final Fantasy shit.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so that's it. So I'm just waiting on the full game.
What, you're getting it for PS5? Because it's not on PC, right?
Yeah, it's my only option, dude.
Yeah, because I remember you got the remake on Epic, right?
Yeah,
or something, and it was
we don't talk about that.
Okay. See, so you do use your PS5. That's what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to you have a use for your PS5.
Correct.
And obviously because of the remake playing so well, this one you probably won't have any issues. You won't have any complaints like you had for 16.
Well, there's some controversy with Rebirth, but it's in a way that I'm less. It's less of an issue for me versus Final Fantasy And so the controversy with Rebirth, and again, we don't know if it's going to be like this in the full game or if it's just limited to the demo, but it's probably in the full game. But the performance mode, the image quality is definitely, which is something I noticed. I care less about it. But there's definitely some like funky shit going on with some of the fidelity where like things look kind of blurry and washed out, and textures are kind of, and I think there was some of that in the remake, like when I played it on PS4 Pro. And I think even the frame rate in the performance mode for Rebirth, like it wasn't perfect, but it was like more like, I think there might have been some drops here and there, but by and large it was like way more stable. So I think it's just kind of like, what are you optimizing for? Like, to me, I just want stable frame rate. Maybe in certain areas I'll switch it over to the quality mode, just because I'll be more, if I'm just like exploring a town or whatever, maybe I'll switch it over. But yeah, that's like, some people are up in arms about this and are strongly recommending that you play it in graphics mode, which I think was what people were saying with Final Fantasy 16 as well. But for whatever reason, I'm like more okay with the performance mode here than I was with.
You're just a hater. But we will see. Obviously, they still got about 14 days, 16 days.
That's not getting fixed in 2 weeks.
Patch it up. Patch it up.
Patch it up.
And Helldivers?
Helldivers? Well, no, I mean, I think we've talked about how we're going to play it. It's this year's version of Remnant 2, which we had a good time with last year.
Are you surprised at the numbers it's doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are, like, where does that come from? And I think it's just like one of those games. Like, I don't know how many people you follow on Twitch, but you can, or at least I can, just like based on like all the different people that I follow, like I can tell when there's like a game that's clearly, in the mix on Twitch with like all the influencers playing it, and it just so happens to be like held, like it was up until like Helldivers came out, it was Pal World, like everyone was fucking playing Pal World. Now everyone's playing Helldivers, and I think there's just like a lot of influencing that happens. But I think it also got like really good scores, and it's fun to play.
Entertaining for a good 20-30 minute sessions, and then you can continue or get out.
Yeah, and I think what's cool is Sony's really been pushing, or they have talked about a lot, doing more live service games. And I think is this the first one since they made those types of statements?
Yeah, because this one has the aspect where you're actively like fighting the bugs or whatever, and you can see the different planets, how it's going, kind of thing, in real time, with all the players playing and all that stuff, like how it's going, how it's turning the tide and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's interesting, right? Like this would be a nod in favor of that being a good strategy for Sony. Because like I was kind of like casting quite a bit of doubt on whether that's the right thing. And it really just depends on how they execute it and with which games. So if it was more like, hey, let's just shoehorn all of our single player games into some sort of like live service model, I guess kind of like what they were doing with like Last of Us and things like that, then I think that's probably what a lot of people were expecting. But yeah, I think Helldivers was kind of built for a live service model. So maybe because of that, it's kind of more of a natural fit. And then it's just a question of like how many more of these, where there's like an actual fit, how many more of those do they have, over the next several years? So I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So it's a good win, a good first win for that strategy.
And it'll be interesting to see how it goes moving forward with the live service aspect of it, because they really haven't like said what it's gonna be. I guess seasons or whatever. It's all seasons.
That's the new model, and people just like want to throw shit out there and see if it gets 5 million users, and if it gets 5 million, then they'll build a content roadmap around it. If it doesn't, we're taking it offline.
Yeah, if it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it with all the news and games that we wanted to talk about. We're gonna move on to some closing thoughts, and I'll start it off. I haven't been playing too much, man. I've just been working a lot and then working out for my firefighter shit that I'm trying to
you
get
have.
into. Yeah,
I can tell.
I'm a stud, baby. I can't believe I just said that. But I played a little bit of Suicide Squad and Infinite Wealth, but I still haven't fully engaged in any of them. Nobody's playing Suicide Squad, so that's a big cause of it, which I'm mad about.
You saw the thing that more people are playing Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight,
or is it Arkham City or whatever?
No, Knight. I think it's Knight because it's the last one.
So more people playing Arkham Knight, then that's a joke. Dude.
I mean, I just want to play with people, but I don't know anybody that has it. If anybody on our Discord has Suicide Squad and they want to play together, let me know, because I really want to play the game with other people. It's a good game by itself, but I think it's with all these types, they're also definitely more enjoyable with other people. And Infinite Wealth, go ahead.
Could you imagine? I was just gonna say, can you imagine how many years were they developing that game? Like
7.
7?
Yeah. And Infinite Wealth, I do want to get into it. I know we want to do a review, and you've been playing it, definitely. But I just, I got to get into it. I feel like it was the same with Like a Dragon, where it took me a little bit to get into it, but once I started rolling, I couldn't stop playing it. So the time's coming. I did go to a comedy show. Shout outs to Sophia, Leon, and Yabin. Went to see Ronnie Chang. For those of you who don't know, he's a Daily Show correspondent on Comedy Central, and he's also been in Shang-Chi. He's also been in Crazy Rich Asians. Very, very good comedian. I like the show. Very surprised opener Trevor Noah. So that was definitely fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it was a good comedy show. Something that's not video game related, but I like comedy. So that's what I did last week. And then that's it. And then we'll see about Helldivers. Helldivers, I think it hadn't been released when you guys did game night, and I was also at the comedy show, so I think nobody played it.
Yeah.
So maybe this week we'll get into it. What about you? What have you been doing?
I played a little bit of Infinite Wealth. I think I'm finally at the Animal Crossing. I think it's like Dodonko Island or something like that. So spent some time with that. That's a dangerous place for me.
Damn. They got you.
Yeah. And I think I just got to it. So I don't think this spoils anything, but naturally, through the story, you'll arrive at this island and you kind of have to spend a couple days there. And then I think after that, you can go back to the main story or just keep fucking around there. So I'm at that inflection point. I think I'm gonna go a little deeper and then maybe get back into the main game and then come back later. We'll see. Because my concern is just only doing this island thing and that being a rabbit hole. So
how are you liking everything else? The gameplay still solid, the story's still solid?
Story is great. It's a
I need to get on.
It's still a game of the year, sure. Even though it's only February or whatever, but it's definitely going to be on the list. I'm really enjoying it. And then I think I already mentioned, but the Rebirth demo, it didn't take long, but I had pretty limited game time this week, so that probably took a third of it, just with that demo.
Did you do the piano?
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I won't spoil that. The getting into that piano was so funny. Just like the way that they set it up with the flashback, it's like hilarious. And it's also really fun. The actual piano mini game, it's pretty hard. I don't think I've really played a music game with like that type of input.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the only one I can recall that had it like that was The Last of Us, because you could play the guitar and actual play, but you didn't play The Last of Us, so
yeah. So yeah, as someone who's boasted about his music rhythm game ability, like I was like having a hard time with this, so which I'm excited about. Like I want to, and there's so much incredible music in that game, so I'm sure
over 400 tracks.
Well, I mean, just in terms of actual tracks you can play on the piano.
Oh, okay. I was talking about the game in general.
But I think like as you go around the world, you can like buy tracks or collect tracks or whatever. So I think that'll be cool for sure. I think that's it. Like game night was a bust because we were like, you know what, let's go like dip back into Diablo, and like the game just like wouldn't install. Like I got I installed, like I re-downloaded the game, installed it, and then I thought I was good to go. Then the BattleNet launcher like was being weird, and I had to like update the launcher, and I had to like re-download some other thing for Diablo. It was just a nightmare. And then it kept like the download kept like hanging, and I was like,
your first mistake was,
what the fuck, dude?
Your first mistake was considering playing Diablo.
Yeah.
Was that
so
you?
I was like,
was it you that suggested it?
No, it was Mitch. Sure.
I figured. Yeah. No, I figured. Oh.
Then we just played Rocket League, and it was a great time.
There you go. Just cover that wound with Rocket League anytime.
The only other thing to mention is, I watched the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we did watch the Super Bowl. We're not going to talk about the Super Bowl.
Let's not talk about it. Let's talk
about it real quick. I love the Super Bowl. It was a shitty first half, but it picked up in the second half. So I'm guessing you liked, because I haven't seen the full trailer I haven't had time today to see the full trailer for Deadpool, but you saw it, and you think it's going to save the MCU?
Nah, I mean it'll be a good. I think it'll be a good Deadpool movie. It's not gonna. I mean, certainly he's like joking about that in the trailer, but no, I think it'll be cool. And I think was this the first time it was revealed as like Deadpool and Wolverine? Like that's the official title?
Yeah.
That was okay. Good. I was like, I couldn't recall if that was new information or not, but I knew Wolverine was in it, but I didn't know.
I think they just referred to it as Deadpool 3 for a while. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no, it's more Deadpool. I'm on board with that. And then without saying too much, it'll be very obvious too because you watched the show, but there's like a very direct connection with Loki. That's kind of interesting. So once you see that, you can kind of like piece together what they're trying to do with the movie. So I think it could be interesting for sure.
We got to set it up. Movie night with the boys.
I agree, and it's soon. I think it's in July.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting.
No, I figured it was going to be like in the summer or something.
Yeah. I didn't like. I really had no when it was actually coming out. So to me, like I was like, okay, I'm on board with that. It's not TV, but it's TV adjacent. But I think you should leave.
Oh yeah.
Live tour.
We got tickets. Shout out to our boy Zach. He battled the internet and
Big Dub,
the ticket website, and he managed to get us tickets. We are big fans of I Think You Should Leave. If you guys don't know, we're always saying dumb I Think You Should Leave lines every now and then that we say on the show as well, or just when we're together.
I held it took everything in me to hold back making some dumb comment about like the bones.
Oh, I was thinking
the bones. Bones equals dollars.
I was thinking the bones too. I was like, I'm gonna say bones. And I don't want to say the bones or the money, but yeah. But we got thanks, Zach. We got tickets to that. We're gonna be checking that out. We don't know what to expect, but it'll be an interesting experience.
Kind of remarkable. Just the insanity, which I think we know. Like anytime you like, maybe it's someone you don't know particularly well. Like it's like a new person that you just met, and you find out they like that show. You like immediately become best friends, and you shit talk about your favorite episodes, and so there's definitely like this insane fandom, within the show. Kind of like Rick and Morty, I guess. Like I don't know. Maybe that's a little
I
say that, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like people are like really into it.
It's not as toxic as Rick and Morty got.
Not as toxic, yeah. I think it's generally comes from a positive place. But you know what I mean. It's kind of like I remember like in the earlier seasons of Rick and Morty, before it was like as big as it is now. Like when you found out someone.
Oh yeah, just
fucking
Mr. Macy's. Yeah. No, I got you.
So to me, I'm not surprised at all that they have no information. It's like it's two guys from the show just going on tour.
They might have props. They might do stand up.
Yeah, we have no idea. Like, are they recreating scenes? Is it completely new material? Is it skits? Is it like who the fuck knows?
I will die.
But nobody even cares. Like everyone's like going.
Yeah.
And here, take $100 or $200 or whatever it is.
I will die if they do the bit where the guy like, I'll pay you money if I talk.
Have you seen the beginning of that skit is so good.
Oh yeah,
it's like
okay. It's such a good show. If you guys haven't seen, I think you should watch it because
it's kind of soon. It's in April, right?
Yeah.
That's not so. So I feel like our year is like starting to fill up with cool shit.
Yeah. Every skit doesn't hit for everybody. I think it does eventually, like when you rewatch them and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get kind of more of the skits that you didn't get. But there's definitely a bunch that will hit and you're like, you'll think about it all the time. Like we do.
Yeah.
But check that out. But that's it. Thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure you guys check out our website, pressingbuttons.gg, so you guys can get access to our Discord and come in there and chat with us and chat with the Pressing Buttons community, which we love. And stay tuned with us. We will still be doing the live streaming, like I said, on Mondays, and recording on Mondays and releasing on Mondays. So we appreciate everybody who has shown up. We have 4 viewers on YouTube. That's a record. So I guess
big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers. Slowly but surely. Way more than last week. But yeah. Anything you want to add? Yeah. Anything you want to add? All right.
We're pro streamers. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. All right. I'm Hugo. Bye.
I'm Nick later.
All right. Still streaming. Thank you, everybody. You want to say anything?
I appreciate that you reminded me that we're still streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't immediately go into some insane nonsense that will get me in trouble.
Say some shit to get canceled. No, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we already say shit to get canceled anyways. I think
we're just not the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, we're not popular enough to get canceled.
Yeah.
Which that says its own thing.
With that attitude, you're probably right.
But yeah, thanks everybody who's joining the live stream. I can't see. If you're on Twitch, I can't see. The OBS for some reason only lets me see the YouTube when I'm doing.
I think everyone's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And by everyone, I mean 4 people, but
everyone.
It's
everyone. YouTube's better anyways. They have a higher quality and all that stuff. So YouTube is the future of the past. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go and watch some trailers that I missed during the Super Bowl. Not that I missed, but that was one thing. Like, what is up with like, oh, watch the full trailer online? Fuck that shit. Just show the full trailer right now.
Do you know how many millions of dollars
they saved? Yeah, but the point of
is it 7 million every 30 seconds?
Yeah, but the point of of the trailers on the Super Bowl is to get the hype, and people like are glued. Well, that's just me.
Nah, I mean, the way I think about it is do a minute-long trailer, $14 million. You can then associate your trailer with being a Super Bowl trailer. And then it can be however long you want it to be, on wherever you want it to be. So I think of it as like a marketing hook just to like get people. It's a trailer for a trailer, basically.
I did get excited for the Planet of the Apes movie because I watched.
I thought it looked weird. I've never been into those movies, but like, I thought that trailer. I watched the trailer. Just like anytime I've seen. I think the last one was what's her name? It's like Estella. Is it the Mark Wahlberg one and Estella or something? What's her name?
No, bro, that's like a very old ass one. That's the old ass one. No,
that's the old.
One,
no, it's not. That's like a midpoint one. Like the old one is from like.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying like that was like a 2005, I think. I'm talking about like the Matt Reeves one. So all the new ones, the one that started with James Franco, then the one that Andy Serkis did mocap for. They're pretty good. I watched them recently. I watched like all three, and I really enjoyed them. So I'm excited for this one because it's set like 200 or 300 years after the last one. So
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Well, either way, I don't like it.
You should check it out. You thought it was the Mark Wahlberg one.
I knew there were more recent ones. I was just saying like that's the last time I actually like watched the movie, and then the more recent ones I'd seen the trailers and I'm like, this just looks weird. I don't know.
Well, the apes, man. The goddamn dirty apes.
Goddamn dirty apes.
But we'll see. All right. Yeah. Good episode. Good tight 55.
So long.
We talk so much. All right.
Do you remember when you were like, "Oh yeah, are we going to talk about Microsoft?" I feel like we're just going to say something about. What am I?
Yeah, I was like,
that could be an hour. That's an easy hour to me.
It just comes up. I was like, I don't think we have that much material. And then as I'm talking about it, I'm like, oh, we have a lot of material because now I
need to cut Nick off.
Yeah, I keep asking more questions.
Yeah.
And he gives more answers.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to stop the stream now. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we'll see you on the next stream next Monday. All right. Bye.
Bye.
The fuck?